To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So as you know, I finally got the chicken run with the 14 gauge wire put on, so that'll keep the foxes and the raccoons and the possums and all the little predators out at night. The meat birds are up in the house. They're coming up on 2 weeks. I guess they're about a week and a half old now. And they're growing quite quickly. So in about 8 weeks, we'll be able to butcher them. So we'll start butchering them at 8 weeks and probably finish up by the time they're 12 weeks old. And that's specifically what we're raising them for, is just for meat. And they won't live very long, not on the diet they're on. We got them at 22% protein. They'll die of a heart attack within a year if you try to keep them alive. So I need to get started, is my point, getting the coop done for the meat birds. We have 3 sections basically. We have a section for the full-grown birds. We got a section for the littles. We call them littles. They're various ages. I tried to introduce them today. I opened up the fence between the two, and Frenchie, being the rooster he was, just tortured them. So I closed that back off. They're not ready. And I Googled it again, and sure enough, we gotta wait 15 to 16 weeks old before we introduce them. And I know people will tell me to put the little ones in at night into the grown coop, but everything I read says that's very dangerous. You may wake up and all your little chickens will be dead. And then over here we got the run for the meat birds. Of course, I need to cut the grass in here. The grass is too tall for them. Their gizzard will get clogged up if they try to eat all this. So I'll cut the grass. I can get the push mower in here, I think. I'll have to put the handle down. So no sooner did I get all this done, and an article popped up on Google this morning when I was scrolling through it, saying my county had a bear sighting. Now, I know people say, oh, you've had bears in your state the whole, I've never seen a bear in the state of Missouri. As far as I knew until the last few years, there were no bears in Missouri. They're coming back. I guess they ran out of the state of Missouri. There's actually a hunting season for them now. So I Googled, how do I keep bears on my chicken coop? And the answer is, you don't. If you have a bear, you're just gonna have a problem with them. Now, here's what I was told on Google. This is what Google said. During the night, you're not gonna have a problem with bears, which I didn't know that. I mean, I don't even know if that's true, because they do all their foraging during the day. And again, I'm not too sure that's a true statement. I was down at Dad's down in Florida, and there was a bear outside at night at his house. So it seems to me the bears do come out at night. So I don't understand that statement, but I'll just do the best I can. I got my alarm. If it goes off, I should be able to hear it. And it's only during the time that I got the meat birds. We're gonna butcher the meat birds by no later than October. Now, I put them in the coop, the other birds. If they're gonna get in the coop, they can get in the coop, but they can get in the camper. There's just not much I can do to avoid a bear. So just have my alarms out. Hopefully I can scare him off. So today, I gotta work on the meat birds coop. This isn't gonna be a very difficult project. It's actually, should be pretty simple. Cut 4 boards, and then I'm just gonna hang this coroplast in like a dome shape. I'm gonna make it 9 feet long and 4 feet wide, and that should hold everybody in it at night. It's not gonna be secure. The chicken run's gonna be what keeps everybody safe. This should just be a place they can lay down at night and huddle together. The chicken run already has the tent over it, so that'll keep them from getting wet. This is just an extra little security blanket for them. I got some of these 2x4s left over. I think they're 20 feet long. This one came in a shipping crate. Siding came in, the metal roofing material. Okay, got my box built now. I'm going to install the first piece of coroplast. Now I'm going to use zip tie. So all I got to do is drill a hole through the board and the coroplast. I'm going to zip tie it. That way when I'm ready to take it apart for the winter, I can just take the zip ties off, store the coroplast somewhere. Even if I wanted to take the 2x4s apart, I could store them. Or maybe I'll find a spot, I don't know where, but I could find a spot and just leave it as is. This way it's completely disassembled and assembled, and it won't get in the way of anything. Heck, if I took the coroplast off, I could just leave the box inside the chicken run and it'll be protected from the elements. So I just marked the holes. I drilled through the coroplasts and I marked the holes. Now I'll drill those all the way through. That way I didn't have to hold the coroplast and try to drill all the way through the board. Just made it easier. Okay, so let's see if we can get this in the camera here. So we have the first piece on, so now you can see, kind of get a visualization of the dome shape. Now I'm going to put a brace in here because if they jump on top of it, that's going to fall. It'll fall down, but kinda it'll spring back up. It's pretty flexible material, but see, it pops right back up. So, but I'm going to put a brace in there just in case. Carolyn wanted me to use black pipe. The flexible black pipe, line it like that. I think I'm gonna just use another 2x4 in there. We got lots of black pipe, but that's gonna be a lot of work. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like inside. I think it's great. That's going to hold them chickens just fine. Now, the nice thing about this is, like I said, it's going to go underneath the chicken run here. And so the chicken run's 10 feet by 10 feet, and the coop is 9 feet. So that'll give them a foot entrance. They can come in, you know, as long as they don't get too terribly fat, that'll give them a foot to get into it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to tell me that coroplast is not UV resistant. How do I know this? Because the last time I used it, that's what everybody said. So here I have it on my camper, and you can see it's very dirty. This is a year old right down here. And this, I think, is coming up on 3 years old. You know, this is over 3 years old, so it's coming up on 4 years old. I don't have any problems with it deteriorating or anything. There's a guy on YouTube who uses this. Years ago he did it. I don't think he has YouTube videos anymore. But he made homeless shelters and dog shelters. And he had one sitting out for I don't know how long, years. And he decided to go out and jump on it. So he went out and jumped on it and it survived the jump. That's basically where I got the design for the coop, was from him. It's simple to bend and drill and zip ties. I got the zip tie idea from him. So it'll last fine, especially since it's definitely not going to be exposed to UV. So for those who are going to tell me it's not UV resistant, well, it doesn't have to be. Also, we're only going to use it a few months a year, and then I can put it away. So it's not bear resistant, and so we're going to have a lot of problems if bears come around here, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to have to look up the laws on bears. Can you shoot a bear? If I know I had a fox here, and a lot of people say you can't shoot fox. Well, I don't think you can shoot fox either. Some people say you can, some people say you can't, but I have a hard time finding this kind of information. But it seems to me that there are a lot of people out there who have this philosophy that you can't do things. And the coroplast is a perfect example of that. I can't tell you how many times people told me that coroplast wasn't going to work. I remember one time somebody said, you can't use that coroplast. First time you hit a bug, it's going to go straight through it. Well, I had it on the camper. We traveled all over the country, and I'm sure we hit a lot of bugs, but when I was in the Grand Canyon, we hit a bird right on the face of that. It survived, not even a ding. Dude, I remember when we went and bought it, we were down in Florida. My dad's friend took us down to get them at Home Depot. The guy who took us down there says, you can't use that cardboard on your camper. That isn't gonna work. Well, I still make fun of him when I call Dad and I hear his voice in the background. I still make fun of him for that because it's still there. I wanted to show you this. Somebody pointed this out the other day that, or we asked if we're growing corn. What happened was our chicken run used to be here. So we just moved it from here to here. Carolyn comes down and feeds them their mesh, which has corn in it. And so when they scrape the corn off, of course, there's a lot of wasted material. So that started growing. So we're gonna save that. Probably won't get any ears of corn out of it, but the stalks are good for fattening them up in the winter so they stay warmer. Corn helps keep them warm. Oh, that hen, she's getting ready to lay an egg. You hear her? That's the signal that they're gonna lay an egg soon. So I hope I can inspire you to ignore the naysayers and give it a try, especially if it doesn't cost a lot, so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.